So, hi Radhika, hi Shitty, these founders of Breathe Happy. How are you both today?
Very good. Living in the new normal.
Well, thank you very much for joining me for a quick conversation about Breathe Happy, and congratulations, of course, for finishing up the Bethnal Green Ventures Spring 2020 program. It's great having you on board.
Thank you. Yay.
So, would it be all right if you say a few things about what Breathe Happy is and what we do, and a little bit about the company?
Sure. Breathe Happy is just that, helping you breathe happy in a virtual way. So we are an online tech platform that connects people with authentic yoga and mindfulness instructors from the home of yoga. We call them gurus in India, for live interactive yoga sessions anywhere in UK, US, and Australia.
Oh, fantastic. And as founders, what were your respective routes into creating Breathe Happy?
Right. So that's a long story. So maybe another day, but no, just joking. So it started about 7, 8 months ago in my mind. On one day when we were talking about moving another truck of donuts from Tesco's to Morrison's, because that's what I used to do as a marketing head of second largest bakery company in Europe. But I just realized that there was something more that I wanted to do with my life, and triggered by some personal health reasons and my practice of 12 years of yoga and the groups that I was part of, which were literally the primary research. The idea of Breathe Happy was born. But the journey from that idea stage to the platform that you see today is a lot of credit to Radhika, and maybe she can explain a little bit more.
Sure. Hi, so I'm Radhika. I've been working in tech for impact for the last 6, 7 years. So just before this, I was working in Kenya, trying to make clean energy more affordable for low-income households. And I just moved back to India, and like Shruti and I have been friends for a while now. And she's been so passionate and enthusiastic about this that it rubs off on all around her. And so I initially started just pitching in and helping in with trying to understand what online yoga could look like. And very soon on, I saw how impactful it could really be. And what really attracted me was not just the impact, but also how we are planning to implement that through the right kind of technology and the right kind of execution. And so I came on full-time on board earlier this year, and since then I think this has become much more of a reality than just beyond like a small idea that started with Shruti.
Cool. Would it be possible if you say a few things about the actual teaching and how, say, a customer would use it and what the, say, product is on the user experience side?
Sure. So essentially, we are connecting teachers in India to students in the UK, US, and beyond. So yoga itself has been a very physical practice for a lot of people in the West, because it's often portrayed as acrobatics on mat. And here in the home and heart of yoga, it is much, much more than that. And that was the ethos that we really wanted to bring to our users who were trying out yoga through us. And a lot of it is finding the right kind of teachers in India who are authentic trainers and actually train the trainers from around the world to come here and get certified in yoga, and bringing these teachers online. The students can connect, and it's a two-way video right now. So the teachers also not just give you instructions on what to do, but also look in you and correct you and support you through your practice. And along with being a physical journey, for most people, it is a very emotional as well as mental healing journey as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's just one more thing to add to that, which is currently the way industry works is a lot of teachers from US and UK go to India in these top schools of Bihar School of Yoga, Sivananda School of Yoga, Ananda, Rishikesh, Himalayas. They get their certifications and come back here to set up their studios. We are trying to go to these top schools directly. So our teachers, and feel free to have a looky on our page, are sourced directly from these schools. And some of our trainers actually have trained these teachers who come and teach here. So the idea is to give this non-Western, authentic interpretation of yoga, which is really a lifestyle even beyond the mat.
So for your users, what kind of person is this really helpful for? What kind of impact can it have on someone's life?
So here I would talk a little bit about the journey that all of us have been. I mean, it's no news to you, right? The advent of social media, or the overwhelming of technology, or the social messaging or advertising that we are all exposed to, the reduction in our attention spans. And it takes a toll. It takes a toll. It's reflected, some of it, in the numbers. So more than 15 million people in the UK suffering from mental health symptoms. It's the single largest cause of ill health in the UK. And anybody who wants to go for this two-way connection of mind, body, and holistic well-being is welcome to our platform. Whether as part of employee benefits of aware and sensitive corporate teams that are looking for creative solutions, or in their individual capacity. They're welcome to try out different practices, different yoga styles in the most authentic way possible, using the best of technology.
Cool. And you said about something that could be offered as employee benefits. Is the B2B side something that you're really developing at the moment?
Yes, in fact, we are seeing a lot of traction on that front. We just got enlisted with one of their B2B wellness platforms, and they are trying to change their image. So from a sweat-based workout kind of a feel, they are now going for a more inclusive and well-being-led image, and thinking of relaunching with us. And we feel that this is the way industry is going. You really see a lot of influencers and policymakers and aware leaders going towards that trend, and we believe that more and more traction will come from that side.
Awesome. And speaking of traction, I understand we recently held a big event for World Yoga Day. Could you say a thing or two about that?
Oh, would love to. Yes, it was one of the biggest things that we did, and honestly, we hadn't expected this kind of success 3 months ago. So we did 2 events, not one. International Day of Yoga is celebrated internationally, instituted by United Nations on 21st of June. That happened to be a weekend, luckily for us. So on Saturday, we did an event in the UK that we hosted. And it had experts from across UK, psychology, psychiatry, business, education. It had a registration of over 900 people. There was, for example, a psychologist who works with NHS who has integrated yoga and mindfulness in a high security prison in the UK. There was a child psychiatrist who led first service of children's eating disorder in the UK and has instituted mindfulness in his own program. And that was a wonderful way of breaking down the science behind and evidence behind yoga and mindfulness and how that helps people, because that is one of our missions as well, leading evidence-based and scientific practice. The other event that we did was in India based, but it was viewed globally 60,000 times plus across our social platforms. It had some of the biggest names from India. So we had Swami Ramdev, who is authority in yoga in India. We had Pandit Jasraj, a classical vocalist, and Shankar Mahadevan, who is a millennial Zoomer kind of a singer, to connect with that audience. And the best part was that our logo stood next to, hold your breath, United Nations and Government of India Ministry of Ayush. So really chuffed at that.
Oh, fantastic. And congratulations. I mean, if nothing else, the momentum was strong enough to bring even me onto the yoga mat, and I'll definitely be returning. And speaking of this momentum and I suppose seizing it, what are the next big steps for Breathe Happy?
Yes, so there are 2 big ones, really. The next steps are scaling the product and scaling the user acquisition. We have proven the feasibility. Our MVP is now generating recurring revenue, and we want to take it a notch up. Rads can tell you a little bit more about that before I talk of user acquisition.
Sure, yeah. So right now, everything that we have is just built in-house. People do the basics of booking their class, paying for the product, attending classes online. But there's a lot more that technology can do to improve this user experience and really replicate the studio online in the best possible way. So we are looking at motion tracking and body tracking and computer vision to give the teacher more insights into what the student is doing with each post that they are going through. So you can actually map out your joints, and the teacher is able to see exactly, very clearly, with like as objectively as possible, what the postures the student is holding, and then guide them even more personally than they are right now. So the next step is definitely including more of this tech into the product to improve the overall experience for users.
Yes, so in a nutshell, I sometimes call it the Peloton of yoga minus the bike. So it's the at-home revolution of live interactive classes of yoga and mindfulness. And we want to scale it up. Like we have already reached thousands of people. We want to take it up to millions, if not more. So user acquisition is going to be the next ambitious thing for us.
Amazing. And so whether they're wearing the hat of a potential user or investor or partner, how can people get involved and help Be Happy on this mission?
Yes, so 3 big ways. Please come and work with us, especially if you're in the field of marketing or technology. So like I just mentioned, in line with our next big steps on product, which is tech and user acquisition, if your expertise is something that can help Breathe Happy, please come and talk to us. Second is as a partner to introduce us to the teams, or as a customer, you're always welcome on the mat to join us and make us introduced to people who want to join us as customers. And last but not the least, if you're an investor or know of angels who are active in this space and looking for creative solutions in well-being, please come and talk to us.
Fantastic. And I suppose one last thing is you've just finished up the 3 months intensive program with Bethnal Green Ventures. Is there one kind of big learning or takeaway that you've got from this experience that maybe you could share with prospective entrepreneurs or the broader tech community?
Definitely. I believe that BGV was an inflection point for us. What started as a WhatsApp group of few tens of users has now grown to 100+ active users, 1,000+ users in our community, and 74% repeats this month itself. So it's proven in numbers. BGV came at a point when we were nobody, and where we now believe in ourselves that we are getting somewhere. So BGV was that magical ingredient where serious bunch of people took us seriously, and that made serious things happen. And if you want that dose of seriousness beyond your friends and family who think you're doing serious things, come and join BGV.
Titi, Radhika, thank you very much for your time. It's been wonderful talking to you, and it's been great having you on the program as well.
Thanks, Will.
All the best. Take care.